So, again, I'm going to watch the tape, but I felt like we played with good effort the first half. I thought they did some things. They made some shots that they haven't made all season. Now, they have made recently, so you can see them getting better. They've made some. And that kind of – I didn't think we had any energy in the second half for whatever reason. I mean, we were dealt kind of a tough hand, too, in fairness to our guys without Rotroff. Like, we really don't have anybody to play with both those guys out. So it's tough against a pretty big, strong team. And we died on the vine. I thought Trey and Kevin both were tired in the second half.
So their 3-point shooting in the first half, would you just kind of chalk that up to making good shots? It seemed like they were running a lot of good movement.
So they had good movement. I thought that was also the key to the game is they moved us so much in the first half that we tired in the second half. We didn't have shit in the second half. We didn't have any energy. And I told our guys, if you keep shooting it as quick as we're shooting it, right, and then having to play 20 seconds, 25 seconds of defense the whole game, that's what happens to you. It's kind of like taking body blows in boxing. You know, you keep taking those punches, you're not going to have it was noticeable to start second half. We didn't have anything. We didn't have any juice. So, I mean, it's disappointing. Again, we're in a tough spot, kind of a tough spot.
Not to say that, every team is exactly, comparable, but is there value to pointing at the way they play, the team's sort of brand of offense, comparing it with, for your young guys saying...
Well, all the good teams in the country play the same way. I mean, it may not be like that exactly, but they're moving the ball. Even in our league, if you look at the good teams in the league, Davidson moves the ball, St. Bonaventure moves the ball, Richmond moves the ball. St. Louis a little different, but in a different way they move the ball. We're just too one-on-one oriented right now, which is hit or miss. And then it's not good for your team because now you don't have any trust together either. Even when you make them, it's not good. So, like, when I had Braun, for instance, like, early in the game, he'd move it like mad just to build that team camaraderie. And we haven't figured that out. We've been preaching at him for 2 months. Now I got to revolving door it. That's what's going to happen at both ends of the court. Like, if you don't move the ball and you take bad shots, you're coming out. And if you don't guard consistently, you're coming out. The problem is we don't have a lot of guys right now.
I guess what I'm asking is, do you tell the guys, look at the way they share the ball?
Well, I mean, yeah, we talk nonstop about moving the ball. Like, the good teams around the country move the ball. Again, I'll go back. Richmond, Davidson, St. Bonaventure. They're going to move it. Dayton moved it. VCU's more of a dribble drive team, so it's a little different type of offense, but they're not going to take bad shots. Our shot selection gets us in trouble, and then it becomes a kind of a mudslide, right? One guy does it, so then another guy does it. So I'm just going to have to take them out when they do it. Simple.
What's the biggest takeaway you can take from this loss? You can learn something from every loss. What's the biggest thing you can learn from this loss, especially given that you've got St. Bonaventure coming in here in 6 days from now?
It's still a player's game. Like, we got to be able to stay fresher. That's one thing. And again, that's easier said than done, especially young guys. And then we have to care about nothing else but winning. Like, really, it's simple for us. Play hard and play together. Like, it sounds stupid and simplistic, but it isn't. Like, we have some good individual pieces, but we haven't shown we can consistently play together. Simple as that, which basically is on me, right? Like, I'm just going to have to clobber it over their head now, I guess, because I've talked about it enough. It really, until you clobber them, it might mean, hey, you lose a game you shouldn't lose. But until you figure out that you have to play better than that as a team, because you can't, if you play like that individually, you're not winning against the good teams. And look, they shot it in the first half, but we came out the first 4 minutes dead on our feet.
What did you see from them when you went in there?
Our guys.
Anything different than you've seen in any other game?
Before the game?
No, after the game.
No, it's been the same pretty much every time we haven't played very good together. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. I mean, the hard part about this game is if you have talent, right, you think you can score. But, like, I told him, I said, like, it's almost embarrassing if you take a bad shot down 18 with 3.5 minutes to play, right? So you get 3 more points on your stat line. Like, who really gives a damn? What's it really mean, right? That's almost embarrassing, right? It's insulting in some ways, right? I mean, that's kind of how I see it. Play the right way all the time. And until we fix that, we're not going to win.
You said yesterday that Austin's been playing through that injury this season. Was it just worse today, or like do you expect this?
No, it's been bad since we got back from Fordham.
Gotcha.
Hadn't been easy, like we've had a lot of bad luck so far, but you got to deal with it.
How did you think Lanier played?
Like a guy that played the amount of minutes he's played. I mean, it's not fair to him. He hasn't really gotten any reps. It'd be like, I don't know. I just think it's unfair for him.
And then Trey defensively, obviously those guys he's guarding are a lot bigger than him and create some matchup problems anyways, I assume. But I don't know, how did you think he did defensively? And I guess what do you do to try to help him out?
I thought he was okay the first half. I thought he died on the vine. I mean, when you have to hedge 4,000 ball screens and play 34 minutes, it's too much, man. He should be playing about 27 minutes, 26 minutes. I didn't think he had much. He tries, but, like, you can only do so much. Easily, too. It's just too much. Like, you can't play that much. You can't play at a high level playing that much. Not after chasing them around the hole. I think it was obvious what happened to us. And, look, so Kamara played 27 and Holmes played 29. That's a little bit of a difference. Makes a big difference, especially over time, right? Like, as the season goes, like, that's where Rotrov's really helped us. Like, Rotrov, look, whether you think he's a good player or not, he's been rebounding the ball at a high level, and he's big in defense. And he gives those guys rest, which is just as important. And he knows the system. So it's a bad loss for us. Now, it might not seem like it, but as you know, this line is so fine that, And look, we have to have other guys step up. I understand all that, but when your line's fine to begin with, it's tough.
What did you think of Holmes, and what could you have done differently than what you did?
Well, I think first thing, be a little fresher and do a little bit better job of sitting in. We got tired on the perimeter as well. It's a catch-22. Are you going to play Jackie, Leon, and Primo when they're tired? Tyson, because you're going to give up. You're going to give baskets if you do. But if you don't, you can't score. That's the blunt truth.
Coach, you said a lot of the great teams in the conference, they play this unselfish basketball, moving around a lot off ball. Would you say that sort of chasing them around today helped you get ready for another tough test on Sid Bonaventure?
It helps you if you come with the right mindset and you make changes. If you keep doing the same things, it doesn't help you. Like I thought in the first half, I'm going to watch the tape to make sure, but I thought Primo did a good job on Malachi Smith. He kept him in front. He did a good job on him. I didn't think in the second half he did as good a job, but it might not have been him. It could have been the guy who was screening for Malachi Smith. Or it could have been Primo got tired. So, I'll watch the tape and really take a good, hard look at it. But I thought he did a pretty good – and I felt like Primo has made some jumps as to when he gets tired, how he plays. He had some moments beginning of the season where he'd have 18 points one game and then he'd go kaput the next game, and then he'd get 18 the next, right? And I felt like he's becoming a little bit more consistent, and I think a lot of it is just straight relationship based, like just trusting what we tell him. He's a smart kid now, and so now he has to get to the physicality part of it where he can keep, and it like what he does is like he can break the defense down, so you got to give him a little bit of rope, but we need him to get assists for the mindset of our team. So even sometimes when you score a basket, it may not always be good for you. And he understands that. He's been good with me. I've tried to explain it to him. But he's made some big shots at the end of games too, which is good.
Is this a situation where you're thankful for 5 days in between games, or would you rather?
Oh, I mean, we need the 5 game. I mean, we just played 2 on the road and came back. And, we caught Dayton they're playing pretty good. The last 3-4 games, they've shot the ball much better. They're more settled in, with who they're playing. At the beginning of the year, like Elvis didn't play as much. Malachi Smith was hurt. They're starting to settle in as to how they want to play. What's interesting is they played zone the last 2 games. At least we didn't get any zone. So we had to spend time preparing for the zone as well. And we spent time preparing on the press because we haven't played against any press or any zone all year. You know that, right? So we prepared against the press, and we busted it up pretty good, right? We got open shots against the press, and he quit pressing, right? Because he knew that we probably couldn't score if he backed it up. And he played no zone. So, and he's only played, like I told my guys before the game, I said he's only played a zone 1 time in 8 games. It was the first game that we played in here, and we won. So I said, I don't think we're going to see zone. And then my guy said, oh, he's been playing zone. And I think they're playing more zone because they're playing Amsel at the 3 a little bit more. And they're young, but they played a good defensive game tonight.